Hi, all, Motormouth Jenkins here, welcoming you to our brand new YouTube channel. Hope that you'll come back and see every segment each and every week, and I will share preventative maintenance tips and regularly scheduled maintenance tips for your car. So whether you know a little bit about your car or absolutely nothing, this is the channel just for you, where I share over 35 years of experience as a qualified and licensed service technician with truck and coach, light truck and passenger vehicles. Come back and visit us and tell your friends, and we'll see you each and every week right here in the Car Connection Workshop on YouTube.
Welcome, Car Connection fans and friends. Welcome aboard. We have another episode on our Jeep TJ Wrangler, so don't get bored because we're getting close to letting this thing down on the floor and putting the 2006 Jeep TJ Wrangler Me dash is ready to my right, and we need to make sure everything's working in the HVAC system before we hang the dash in there, because you don't want to be struggling laying on your back going up under the dash going, that's not working, this doesn't work, that's got no power. No, you don't want to do that. So you want to make sure that in this particular job that everything works. So even if we're working on a vehicle as old as this, you have the same components in your car that's 1 year old. It's just works differently. It's digital with all kinds of modules and relays and computers. In this is super simple. It uses vacuum, it uses cables, and it uses electricities to get things rolling so that you have heat wherever you want it. You have defrost, you have floor, you have vent. It doesn't have air conditioning, so it's super simple. So the basics never change is what I'm saying. Everything works the way it's supposed to work, but they call the parts something different. A module versus a cable. A relay versus a switch. Who knew? But that's the whole thing. You might say, and this is what I don't want you saying, well, yeah, that's really old. It all works exactly like your car that you just drove off the lot of 2025. It all works the same functions, but more simple. We've made it complicated. So what I'm going to do is show you how am I going to test to make sure that everything works the way it should be working before we put the dash in. And then I've got a complete windshield and windshield frame. It's all assembled already with gaskets ready to go in. But we're fortunate we have the windshield out, which makes it a whole lot easier to do this job. So I'm using my vacuum pump kit. Guys, if you don't have one of these, you need to get one of these, because you can check anything that's vacuum or needs to have vacuum applied to it to make it work. And where's the pistola? It's not in here. That's because I was using it on the Corvette to set and adjust the choke, because I changed the carburetor. So I have just the final adjustments to do, and I was working over here and over there, so it's probably over there. And now I need it. So let's do a do-si-do here. Yep. That was smooth. That was really smooth. I'm just going to set that right there. I didn't touch it if it goes missing. Wasn't me. Okay, where is this thing? There it is. Yep, that's exactly what I was using it for. To adjust the diaphragm for the choke mechanisms. Okay, cover that back up. It's sleeping. It's sleeping, but we're going to get back to this. Yep, I just have final setup to do, and it's been a little difficult. So now, guys, what you can do with this, you can bleed your entire brake system by yourself with this. Yeah, you can adjust choke pull-offs, testing diaphragms, and that's what I'm going to show you right now. So this is a little container you use, and it has an inlet and outlet. So you have vacuum on one side, and the other hose goes to the bleeder. You open the bleeder, you pull the vacuum, open the bleeder, and the fluid will get sucked right into here, and you can watch it. So if you don't have a Skippy around to help you, You have all the adapters to go on to all the bleeder fittings. You have a little lube to go on there too, so they slip on and off. You have a rebuild kit. This thing has been fabulous. I've had it for years, and I use it for checking fuel pump pressures as well. So lots of good stuff. If you don't have one of those, invest in a good one. That is a good one. Very good. I've had it probably 30 years maybe, and they really haven't changed much. That was a really good kit. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to be the engine running, and the heater system is all the dash pieces. I'm going to see if I can push that back in there and see if we can get it to turn. That'd be cool. I will fix this. This is going to take a bit of science, but I got it figured out. Somebody either broke the thing off or broke the thing off. So that operates this particular door right here. So I'll have to put a screw in and some glue, because it's in its rest position, so that what I know is if I put a mark here and then I pull that back out and I put some Gorilla Glue in there and feed another screw in through here, I'll have a positive connection to this door right here, this one, because that closes off defrost, you see. So that's defrost, and that needs to be up like this and in that position for this servo to work this door and move it. So I'm going to put that in there just so you can see when the servos move. So Skippy, we've got 3 servos we need to let the viewers see, and I don't need any light really. So I've got one here, and one down below. So all I really want to know is if I apply vacuum through the vacuum lines, and again, each vacuum hose represents a function. That's all. The science is easy. It's simple. Let me see if I can put that there. If it'll stay. No, probably not. So that's good. It's good. Okay, not it. Don't breathe. It's okay. All right, now I need my apparatus, my vacuum hose. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply vacuum to my ear hole. No, I'm not. So I'm going to go to the red one first and plug that in, and let's see what moves. If anything moves. Oh, do you see what I see? Do you see what Never mind. Which door is moving? The center door is moving, which is going to open dash. So I think it's this one here. So watch this one. The door is opening. What do you think of that, sports fans? There we go. That servo works. So when I bleed it off, you come to the valve here, and that door should come back. They're a little stiff, so I do have to lube them. We got to lube it. So we got to make sure it also bleeds off. So these things probably have not been working properly for a long time. So that opens, gives you dash and close. It's coming back now. Yep, it just hasn't been working for quite some time, but I'm going to lube up all the hinges with some silicone lube, even from the inside, so that everything works. Okay, so that when that pulls all the way back, we can also watch it here. It's holding about 9.75 inches of vacuum. So I know the diaphragm's in here. That one is good. It's not leaking down. So when vacuum is applied, it's good. When we release the vacuum down to 0, it evens its closing. So you know what that means? Give that one a thumbs up. So the red guy is good. Let's go to the next one. We're going to go to the blue guy. Blue guy is over here. Plug that in. I don't know which one it is over there. I have no idea. So yeah, I can see the holes there. That one's red for sure. So we're either dealing with yellow and blue. So let's see which one moves next. Aha, it's the top one. Oh! And it is. There, it's yellow. Look. Okay, so that's going to work the defrost. And as I mentioned already, I got to fix this because they've done some damage there, and I will fix it. So it's holding vacuum. And the diaphragm's pulled all the way back. And it's holding vacuum at about 9.1. We'll call it 9. It's closer to 9. And now I bleed it off, and it comes right back. So I know that the hose is connected, the diaphragm can move once there's a vacuum source, and it will return to rest position, which is this vent will be closed all the way. We got one left. What color is it? I don't think I know. I'm going to say it's some kind of, I think it's tartan. Maybe not. Let's see if I can find it. I don't know. I don't see it. Oh, yes, I do. It's brown. That one is brown. Okay, so we're going to apply vacuum to the brown vacuum line. Ready? This is the last test. Watch the gauge. We're pumping it up. Uh-oh. Trouble in paradise. Could be problems here. Let's see. That is the one, isn't it? Oh, maybe not. Hang on. We are just below the red one. This one. Let's try that. Would you look at that, Skippy? It's moving. So that is opening and closing the heat. So when you want heat, that's the main door that opens and closes to shut off the heat and close the heat completely off so you can go to just outside vent. So that's what we got going on there. So all three of those, watch the gauge. We're holding. It's holding. So we'll let it off. And it goes to rest position. We'll try it once more. Okay, it's holding vacuum at about 8.75 inches. It's holding. It's holding. That's good. Okay, so we just accomplished two things. We verified all the servos are working. They can hold vacuum. They can move the doors that need to be requested to move. And we've also verified that there's no cracks in the hoses, the vacuum hoses. From this goes to the heater panel, which will be up here, the control panel. And all it does is it moves vacuum supply, which will come in on the green one and the black one. So green and black are our supply vacuum lines. The blue, the red, and the yellow are the servos. So that tells me we are good on the inside. If there's a problem supplying vacuum, that's out there, but I know that I have attached the vacuum lines where they're supposed to be. So I know that, and we have a good solid engine that can create vacuum, because the engine that came out, I'll tell you why he was having problems, because the engine wasn't running on all four cylinders, so engine vacuum was low, it wouldn't open these doors. So he punched a hole through here. We fixed that and did some finagling here. I think he broke this on purpose so that he could get defrost. That's all I'm saying. I kind of got it figured out. That's what he was trying to do, was still fans working, heaters working, but he couldn't get all the controls working because the engine couldn't produce enough vacuum. So till next time, thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to leave a comment and to subscribe, like, share, follow on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Stevensvilleontheweb.ca. Click the businesses tab to find our profile. You can email me through that profile page and grab yourself some Motormouth merch. Be part of the Car Connection crew. Send us a picture. show off your car connection gear, and click on the podcasts for on iHeartRadio. We are on all platforms, Spotify, Amazon, all of it. The whole nine, the whole schmeal is what I like to say. So if you're looking for us, wherever you pull podcasts from, type in the search Car Connection Workshop and join me each and every Monday through Saturday morning for Motormouth's morning drive. And have a beverage because we always have a swiggy together. So thanks for passing by. Thanks for supporting us because we can't do what we have set forth to do, and our vision and our mission is to help widows, orphans, single moms, single gals, and those who are just find themselves in a financial bind but need to keep the car going. So when you help us, we're in turn able to buy parts and provide the labor and fix their vehicles for free. And it could be you. We don't know. But you know what? It's not all about us. It's all about helping you. Thanks for passing by. We'll see you in the next one. Happy motoring. Bye for now. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. If you enjoyed the video, like I know you did, ring the notification bell.
Well, thank you for stopping by the Car Connection Workshop right here on YouTube. Don't forget to come back and join us for another segment. So like, share, tag, and follow, and ding that bell so that you don't miss a single edition of Car Connection. So till next time, keep it under 100 and put the coffee on because we're coming to your house.